Katsistohkwiio. Welcome to Katsistohkwiio Podcast, Episode 20, covering Path. Katsistohkwiio's Professional Advancement Training Hub. I'm your host, Abigail Jacobs, joined today by Workforce Development Program Manager, Katsistohkwiio Jacco, and Workforce Development Program Coordinator, Finnley Montour. Thanks for being here.
Jacco, for having us.
Thanks for having us.
To start off, can you give us a simple overview of what the PATH program is and who it's meant for?
PATH is our Professional Advancement and Training Hub program. It's a bite-sized or micro-learning workshops for individuals who are interested in gaining new employable skills. We have courses that last from 2 classes to 7 classes, and we're in partnership with the New Frontier School Board. All of our instructors are certified instructors for NFSB. Anyone who is a member of Katsistohkwiio can join PATH, and there's no cost to any participants.
All right. Nice little overview. Thank you. What inspired the creation of PATH? Like, what gaps or needs were we trying to address at Katsistohkwiio in the community?
Some of you who may be listening may remember that we did a few rounds of the Administrative Assistant Bootcamp.
Totally.
Our first iteration of that was actually back in 2022, I believe. It was coming out of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
The program was still hybrid at the time, and students at the time had to learn online and go to Nova Career Center for that first iteration of that program. Yes.
Different. Yeah.
Yeah. So once our former coordinator, Drake D'Souza, had started, we looked at revamping that program, bringing it here into the community. We looked at the feedback from the Administrative Assistant Bootcamp, and we brought it here in person at Katsistohkwiio, offered in the evenings. And we had a lot of success with that program.
Yeah.
And what we were seeing with the students who were enrolled in that was that while they learned a lot and gained a lot from that program, they felt that they needed more.
They were hungry for more.
Yes. They loved the class. They loved the setting. They loved the teacher. They loved the relationships that they formed with each other. And they wanted to continue learning in that environment and expanding on administrative skills.
Nice.
So we looked at all of our program evaluations from the Administrative Assistant Bootcamp, and we continued to work with New Frontier School Board and looked at all of the different trainings that they're able to offer, but then also trainings that built upon the Administrative Assistant Bootcamp. So for example, we have Excel, Beginner, and Intermediate that are coming up in the winter that are going to be offered. And those are 2 courses that are expansions of the Admin Assistant Bootcamp.
And when you say, it made this impact where people were like we said, are hungry for it and they were so happy with it. But there are other courses that are available, but this path is more for people who maybe can't do full-time school, right? Or like, what was the difference that was offered here that really hit well with the audience?
Yeah, like exactly what you just said. It's a part-time program. It's either meant for people who might already have full-time jobs and are looking for a career advancement, or people who may have been out of the workforce for quite some time, or are just wanting to gain some skills, kind of get their feet wet.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the people that these classes target, and that's the people that are benefiting from this as well.
Cool.
So it's been great.
Can you describe, you mentioned some already that are upcoming. Can you describe the range of workshop topics that PATH has offered recently, and why were those topics chosen?
This fall, we are offering classes that are from technology all the way to office admin.
Mm-hmm.
So the way that we chose classes this year was there was a survey that was handed out to anyone who's interested in the PATH program. And so it's kind of in conjunction with the survey, with what we're hearing from other organizations in Katsistohkwiio, and then also with NFSB, the New Frontier School Board, with the instructors that they do have available.
Okay.
Starting this fall, we had technology classes, AI in the workplace.
Ooh.
Basically learning kind of how to ethically use AI while you're doing work to make AI work for you. And then we also offered digital content creation with Canva. So a lot of people in town, they don't actually have their own website.
Mm-hmm.
They use Facebook as their website And so this course actually really helped them to be able to put out specific branded content so that people can recognize their brand right away when they just see it kind of on their Facebook feed. And then also kind of how to manage comments and things like that. And then we also have customer service type courses with de-escalation and handling difficult clients.
Ooh.
If anyone has ever worked in customer service, you're always going to have at least one horror story.
And you need those tools in your belt.
Exactly. And then we also are offering some public speaking and project management coming up in the new year.
How exciting. So how does the registration process work, and how has it been for the team managing a demand for limited seats?
We do have very, very limited seats because the courses this year are all in person, and they're all at Dewa Dunizakta on the 3rd floor in the training room, and it seats about 15 comfortably. There have been a couple other courses where we bumped it up to 16 to 18, but we generally like to have about 15. So the way that works is 2 weeks before the registration date, our social media team will announce the next course that's coming up. And in that announcement, they'll give the registration date. So registration for Path, it always opens on Mondays at 12 noon. And this is to give everyone in the community a chance to register for any of the upcoming courses that they want. To register, you go to dewa.ca/path. You scroll down to the how to register section, and there's a giant orange button, and it says application form.
Okay.
You have to fill out that application form in full, and it is first come, first serve. So whenever anybody contacts me about information, I always make sure to tell them to set an alarm in your phone like 5 minutes before registration starts, because some courses fill up within the entire lunch hour.
Wow.
Some courses it takes a week or two
Okay.
to get the full class. And then demand is usually really high. So the first 15 to 18 will get a spot. The others after that, they'll get a spot on a wait list.
Okay.
So if somebody decides at the last minute that they can't come to the course or that their schedule is conflicting, I just ask that they contact me so I can remove them and then add someone to the wait list.
Awesome.
So right now, that's kind of what we're doing for the limited space, is really pushing that if you can't commit to every single class in the course, just let me know, and then I'll let somebody from the waitlist that can be there take their spot so that we have full classes for every Path course.
Awesome. And when people are filling out the registration form, what kind of information should they have prepped? Like, are you going to need, sometimes you're registering for something and then you're like, oh my God, I need my Medicare number and I wasn't expecting it. So what kind of information should they have handy?
We ask for first and last name, email, because the email is very important. That's where you're going to get all of the information. Once you are accepted into the class and you're in that top 15, you'll get an email from me. So it's really important that you put in your email correctly. And then you also will need your band number. That's just for the back end so that I can set up everything on my end to make sure that I have the correct attendance. And then we usually ask questions, just if the person has the job, what kind of job that they're doing. And that's just for us to keep stats so that we can continue to offer courses for people in specific jobs, and then to see what type of jobs people are in and what type of classes those specific people want to take.
Oh, cool. Yeah, you get a better idea of the demographics, who you're reaching. I like that.
We also have a question that asks if people have laptops available.
Oh, okay.
To take the course. If you don't have a laptop, we actually have some loaner laptops that we use specifically for the Path program.
Okay.
So you would just come in, see reception, and our receptionist will have all the laptops waiting. If you have selected that you need a laptop, then you get to borrow one for the whole duration of the course.
Nice. That's awesome. All right. So somebody is registering for the first time. They got on the list. They got a seat. Can you walk us through what the workshop experience is like for somebody who's attending for the first time?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously we said that everything was in person. So it's important that you show up not too early. Because all these courses are in the evening, we actually open our doors half an hour before the class starts.
Okay.
So you just come into the building, come up to the 3rd floor. Our lovely receptionist will greet you and tell you where to go. And you just go into the training room and don't be shy. Say hi to everyone. Say hi to the instructors. The instructors are there to be as friendly as possible and help you figure out everything that you need. I think that would probably be the most important thing is don't be shy and don't be afraid to ask questions. And then the training room actually has plugs for computers, laptop, iPads, and we do have a giant screen in the training room so that the instructor can project any type of material that they need to the full class. And because it's a workshop, be prepared to work together, be prepared to be put in groups. It's always better if you have more than one opinion on like specific subjects that you're going to be learning.
Yeah.
So be prepared to just be social and be around everyone, and all your goal is the same. It's just to get as much information from the workshop as you possibly can.
Totally. No, you can definitely learn and get more out of these kinds of settings when you're getting somebody else's perspective. You know, maybe I didn't think of that question, or I was thinking that too, but I was too shy to ask. So you always get more out of it when you're open to working in the group in these kind of settings. How does Path balance online versus in-person workshop delivery? Katsistohkwiio, you had mentioned when we first started, it was a hybrid. So now how are we doing this online or in person? What challenges or benefits have you observed with each format?
So this year, all of the courses are in person.
Ooh.
And that's basically done in conjunction with NFSB. All of the instructors' feedback so far has been they love the in-person learning environment. They just feel like for a workshop type style, it's a lot easier to kind of go into breakout groups if you're in person. And then it's just, I feel like it's just easier communication wise. But we still do have the possibility of online courses if something like COVID ever happens, or if we decide that we have a lot of participants for a specific course, we could potentially move it online. But as of right now, we're trying to get back to the in-person learning and just trying to get everybody kind of back on track to being around other people and just kind of learning that way.
Yeah. So how do we make sure that Path works for people with busy schedules or other barriers to participating? What kind of accommodations are we making with this program?
Yeah, so I mentioned it a little bit earlier. Path is a part-time program. It's always in the evenings, always right here in the community at Katsistohkwiio. So just by doing that and bringing it here to Kahnawake rather than having students go to Nova Career Center in Chattagee, we've tried to eliminate that barrier if people might have a more difficult time with travel or personal responsibilities or whatever it is. It's right here in the community and it's offered at Katsistohkwiio. And again, it is offered in the evenings so it can accommodate people who are working full-time.
Awesome. And Path has had we're going through a pretty good run now with the program. It's starting to build and to expand. And have we had some success stories or a moment that really captures the impact that Path has had?
I think one of the biggest successes that we see in the program right now is we have a lot of repeat customers, I guess we could say. So we have a lot of people who are taking multiple courses.
Okay.
So we first piloted Path last year, starting in January 2025.
Okay.
So at this time, we're already at a full year of offering these various different courses. So since that time, we've seen a lot of the same people come back and return. So for me, that really indicates that not only are they enjoying the classes, but they're getting something out of it. Mm-hmm. And we're seeing people who have career goals long term, maybe where they're currently working, or they want to branch out and go elsewhere, that they want to advance in their career. And so I think Path is really helping them to work towards that and eventually achieve that.
Amazing. How does Katsistohkwiio define success for its Path participants? Like you're saying that we're seeing people who are returning and maybe trying to advance their careers. What are the kind of statistics and things that the organization is looking at as a measurable success for this program?
Yeah, one of the main things that we look at is when people go from unemployed to employed. Mm-hmm. That right there is a big success measure that we look at and that our team is actually, workforce development team is actually evaluated on as well.
Okay.
How many people in the community are we helping achieve unsubsidized employment, whether they came from being unemployed or what we call underemployed, which means that they might not have had stable long-term employment. So that's the number one thing that we are looking at. However, we're also starting to look at career advancement as well. Like that
Nice.
is definitely a success, right? Especially if we're seeing a lot of students who are coming in and they're completing multiple courses. We do always, after their classes, administer an evaluation. So
Okay.
we are asking them like, where did you start? And then where are you now?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people just, want to advance their skills for their current role. Sometimes people want to advance. So both are successes in my opinion,
Yeah.
because it's developing that individual.
And I mean, we must take into consideration as well, as you said, there's like an exit survey. That also has to be taken into consideration, right? Because Deodonizakta serves the community. What is the feedback that we're getting from our clients and community members on this?
That is super important. And it's another way that our team is measured as well. We have to submit, reports and evaluations, and it's important that we're doing our best to deliver the best possible program and services. And so we're also looked at in that regard as well. And then just one more thing to add in terms of success for participants is we also have some business clients that take some of these courses as well to advance their skills for their business or to eventually their services that they want to expand. But right now, Path is really administrative focused, I guess you could say.
Okay.
So it is helpful for people that may own and operate businesses that need to, just refresh on those skills too.
Definitely. Yeah. When you're owning your own business, you have passion for your industry, but you also need those administrative skills to help your business thrive.
Exactly.
So that's amazing. What kind of feedback are we hearing most from our participants after they finish a workshop?
Every few courses, we send out a survey to participants, and I have some awesome stats that I want to share.
Awesome.
I just sent out a survey last week, and I've gotten a few answers back. I'm still waiting for a little bit more, but as of right now, 100% said that they would take another Path course.
Amazing.
80% have said that they've already applied what they've learned.
Cool.
And 90% say that they feel confident to apply what they've learned and they would recommend to a friend or colleague. So I'm really, really happy with these results. Really happy that everybody that has taken a course seems to be really happy with what they've learned.
Yeah.
We've actually had some people from Deodonizakta take some Path courses, and I have gotten to, pick their brain a little bit. And everyone says that the instructors are awesome. One of the instructors was actually the same instructor who did our admin boot camp.
Okay.
So she did know some of the people that were doing de-escalation. She also handled that one. So everyone is just really enjoying the program and hoping that they can do more and hoping that we're going to expand it a little bit further than administration courses in the next year.
Definitely. So yeah, you're talking about maybe expanding based on everything you've learned so far. How do you see Path growing or evolving in the next few years?
So as of this year, we have 14 courses that are offered through Path.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's quite a bit from October right up until June. And then we take a little pause and we kind of start back next August. That's the plan.
Okay.
So how we see it growing and evolving is really based on our client needs. That's super important to us who work in program delivery here at Deodonizakta. We really do not only value, but we listen to feedback that we're getting from people that are participating in our programs. That's why it's super important when we do send out surveys. I know they can be, a little redundant sometimes, but it's important because we want to know what your experience was like and we want to get your feedback and see what can be offered in the future. So I see it growing into we're going to continue to to offer it. Like, it is proving to be like a huge need. It's in demand. Finnley's busy every every other week with new registrations, like it is a very successful program so far that's being offered to our community members, and our community's responding in a positive way. So we're going to continue to offer it for sure, but how it'll evolve will depend on our community and what our needs are.
I like that. What would you say to somebody who's listening right now and they're interested in signing up for a PATH workshop?
Don't be shy. Don't be shy to sign up, whether you are coming like right out of high school and you are still kind of in that student mode, or if you've been in the workforce for 20 years. There are classes for everybody, and everybody just has the same goal, as to just try to make yourself better, for your organization. And with technology kind of ever changing, we are trying to make sure that our courses kind of go with all of that ever changing technology. And then the next thing is just, if you're going to sign up for a course, make sure that you're available for all of the classes. So some of the courses, like I mentioned before, there's only 2 classes. Some of them are a little bit longer, like our Excel Intermediate. It's actually 7 classes for the whole course. So it runs for 3.5 weeks. So just make sure that you're available for every class, because there is a wait list. There's always a wait list for every single class. And if you can't make it, somebody else might be able to make it every single time. We're probably going to offer Excel again. It's very, very popular. Cool. You can take it again when your schedule kind of fits in. And then I also want everyone to know that when you finish a course and you attend 100% of the courses, you get a certificate from the New Frontier School Board for finishing the course. You get like a certificate of attestation saying that you have done this course. People have already been giving it to their employers. So to say that, hey, I have done this Excel course.
Amazing.
So now I have more employable skills, or I have more skills for a different job that I want. And then just if you can't make it, I'm always available. You can call me, you can email me, and I will do my best to get somebody from the waitlist in. And we're actually happy to announce that we have a new type of recognition award. The award is going to be given from Dewa Dunizakta in partnership with the New Frontier School Board. And it's if you complete 6 or more classes within the calendar year. And we also are going to be giving out a $100 honorarium for participants' hard work and effort to really like upskill themselves and really try to just do what they can to get better as individuals, business owners, or people that work within organizations.
Nice.
Very, very happy about this. This is a brand new award, and I'm really happy to be announcing it.
Very exciting. And of course, to get on to registration, where do people log on? How do they sign up?
dewa.ca/path, and then just click on the bright orange button that says application form. Fill it out, and then you will be sent an email by me saying that you will either be on the wait list or you got a coveted spot in the next upcoming course.
Amazing. And of course, stay tuned to the Dewa Dunizakta Facebook page. Look for the posters around Kahnawake. Keep your eyes peeled for all the new courses that are coming up as part of PATH. Nyawat for your time today.
Thanks for having us.
Nyawat for having us.
Until our next episode, Nyawat for listening, and Onagiwahi.